What's up guys, macadii here. Now today we're taking a break from our UU session to have a go at a bit of live team building. So today we are having a go at building a team built around Mega Charizard Y. Now, in terms of the moveset for the Megazard Y, I think I'm probably going to go for just the standard moveset. So definitely go for the Solar Beam, Fire Blast, and then it is tempting to go for the Air Slash, but I've decided, thinking about it, Focus Blast is probably better, just because otherwise I get completely walled by Heatran, and that's not great at all. I could run EQ as my fourth move, but to be honest, I think Roost would probably be a better bet from here. So that will be 252 in special attack, 252 in speed, and then I'm definitely going to make this timid, just to make sure it is outspeeding as many things as possible. So now we've got the sort of the star of the show done. I now need to have a think about what sort of defensive call I'm going for, and I've been having a look, and I had the idea of maybe going for a Mandibuzz, because I need something with a sort of very reliable defog, especially with Charizard Y being so weak to Stealth Rocks, and maybe a Sylveon, and yeah, so have Mandibuzz with leftovers. And make this I'd probably say make this physically defensive, and then the Sylveon specially defensive. In terms of synergy, they work relatively well, and Sylveon can definitely tank any hits that Mandibuzz can't take on the special side. I'm going to go for Overcoat on there. I'll probably go for Foul Play. Let's go for Wish. Not Wish. Oh, what am I saying? Roost. Roost. Defog. And I'm not particularly sure what to go for this fourth move, so I'm just going to leave it for the minute, and we can always come back to that at the end. So this is going to be physically defensive. So because at the minute I'm not focusing on attacking anyway, I can just go for a bold nature, and decrease those EVs down to 0, just to stop any foul plays and things like that from doing any damage at all. I will be having a think about this last move. I mean, Toxic might be an option, or Whirlwind as well. So, I guess you've also got Taunt as well. So we'll have a think about that as we're going through. So I think with a Sylveon, we're going to go for sort of a Leftovers with Pixelate, which means we can go for the Hyper Voice. And I know we're not actually investing in special attack at all, but a Pixelate Hyper Voice, even uninvested, is still going to do a pretty decent chunk. Especially at the minute, our team is relatively Keldeo weak, looking at it actually. So this will work quite well with that. So I can go for Wish, Protect, probably, just so I can pass off Wishes, especially to Charizard. I know we do have the Roost, but it does mean that we could get Charizard in for free, even if Rocks are up, so we sort of lose the 50%, but then gain it back afterwards. And then maybe I'm quite tempted by Heal Bell, just to stop any stalling and things like that. So that can be max HP, max specially defensive, with a... We don't want a Calm, we want Impish? No, not Impish. Max special defense. I'm always absolutely terrible with remembering which ones these are. Yeah, we want a Calm Nature. And actually looking at that, I'll probably take a little bit off and invest a little bit in speed, just to make sure I am outspeeding other base 60s. Maybe not as much as that, we'll just take a little bit more. Yeah. 32 is probably enough for the speed creep. So from here we've got a fairly good defensive core. So now we need to start thinking about potential Scarfer that will go quite well with Charizard. Now I was thinking let's just have a look through. A quick scan. Let's see what's in BL. Oh, Terrakion. Terrakion I thought would be quite good. So we can run that Choice Scarf, Justified. I'll go for Close Combat, Stone Edge, Earthquake. So we got Edgequake on that. And then for the final move, he does get a good sort of range of moves from that. We could go for Facade in case we get burnt. But to be honest, with the Sylveon, with the Heal Bell, that's not going to be too much of an issue. Let's see, you got Poison Jab, Iron Head. Iron Head, I think Stone Edge is actually going to be doing more. Yeah, it's going to be doing pretty much the same. So I don't think Iron Head is particularly great. Poison Jab, I can't really see that being useful either. So let's see if there's any other moves that might be worth going for. No point going for that. There is the choice of X-Scissor or Zen Headbutt. I think at the minute, maybe X-Scissor for Celebi, because I don't think we've really got... I guess we had the Charizard for that. We'll keep it like that, and we'll see from there. So I'll go for 252 in attack, and a Jolly Nature from there. And then because we've got similar defenses, we want to put 4 in special defense, just to stop other any download users and things like that from abusing that Terrakions defenses. So from here we've got 2 fairly fast Pokemon. We do need a Rock Setter as well. So looking at this, we have Diancie wouldn't be too bad, but then we do already have a Fairy type, and it produces quite a big Steel weakness. Garchomp might be a good one. So I'm definitely going to keep Garchomp in my mind for that. Just because it's got fairly good bulk, and as well as that, really good attack to hit with as well. So we can make it more of a... I guess we can make it a speedy attacker with the rocks as well. So that's definitely a possibility. In terms of other Pokemon that could go for rocks, we've got Mamoswine, but that's, to be honest, that's better off being offensive. Mew might not be that bad. We do already have a Defogger, so I could maybe go for a defensive Mew. Let's have a look at that. So if I go for Leftovers with the Synchronize, we can go for Roost and maybe Will-O-Wisp, and make this more of a defensive set. I know we already have Mandibuzz as a defensive Pokemon, but I think if we have sort of 3 bulky Pokemon and then 3 quite offensive Pokemon, it might work out quite well. So for the last 3 moves, we're going to have Stealth Rock on there. And we have the choice. We could either go for sort of Foul Play, but then we do already have that on the Mandibuzz. I might just go for Seismic Toss and make this fully physically defensive, just because it's really, really bulky. And there's a lot of things that can't actually break through it. It also means we don't have to invest in attack in any way, so our attack is much lower from there. In terms of the last Pokemon, so we've got a Defogger, we've got Scarfer, we've got 2 Wolves. In terms of major sort of type weaknesses here, we've got 2 Rock weaknesses, 1 Rock Resist, a major Rock resist weakness there as well. So we have access to rocks, we've got access to Defog. So this is already not too bad. We don't have any priority. That's the one thing we do lack. So possibly a Azumarill might be quite a good bet. It is quite slow though, that's the only thing. So I'm just trying to see if there's any faster. Keldeo is definitely an option, because it respects Keldeo. Because at the minute we do have Terrakion to break through Blissey and Chanseys, so maybe let's just see. So if we have Keldeo, I think Keldeo is probably the way to go here. I'll just see if there's any other Pokemon. Sableye, no, I've already got enough support. I do need a bit more offense, really. No, Manentric just doesn't have the attack if it's not special attack if it's not Mega. Having something Water type would be quite good, because I am lacking in that category, and most teams it is quite good to have a Water type. Crawdaunt's definitely an option. It does make my team relatively slow, but that adaptability Aqua Jet definitely makes up for it. I'm just seeing if there's any other potential Water types that might work quite well. Even down in UU, I can't see too much. No, I think for the minute we're going to go for Crawdaunt. We can go for a Life Orb set with adaptability, and we'll just go for the sort of Waterfall, knockoff, because we don't have any knockoff users as well, so this will be quite useful for that. Aqua Jet, and as a last move, I guess we could go for SD, or even a Dragon Dance set wouldn't be too bad, but it does rely on us being able to let's see, what sort of speed do we get? So if we had a Jolly one, 229, it'd be 228. So it'll be about nearly 350, which brings us up to about base 100. I'm guessing we're going to outspeed sort of maybe about 105, looking at the maths there, which wouldn't be too bad actually. So yeah, maybe we'll go for Dragon Dance on there. Thinking about it, the question is, do I go for Life Orb? I think I might go for Sash actually. That sounds a little bit weird, but it means I've got a Revenge Killer that, as long as I can keep rocks off the field with Mandibuzz, I can definitely hit back with a powerful Waterfall. I know it is limited because of Charizard's sun being up. The sun is only up for 5 turns with that. And I do still have access to Aqua Jet as well afterwards if I don't outspeed that second turn. So I can get a strong hit off, brings me down to my Sash, and then I can get an Aqua Jet off afterwards. And if needs be as well, if he's run out of priority and he's got relatively slow Pokemon, I can get a Dragon Dance off as well. So I'll just make sure to put the attack EVs in there. Maybe just put 8 in special defense. I've made this an even number as well, because when I get 50% on my boost, it means you're better off having an even number with that. Mew, you want a odd number of HP. I might do a little bit of speed creeping actually on that. Terrakion is looking fine. Same with Sylveon. You always want to try and have an odd number of HP ideally, just because you take slightly less from rocks. So the final thing we've got to now go to is with Mandibuzz, what to go for. I think Toxic, personally. It does manage to handle quite a lot of threats. I know there is the potential for setup, but at the minute the team is quite fluid, and while I'll be doing a few battles afterwards, I'm not going to be too fussed about changing things up and stuff like that. So from here, it seems to not be too bad. I think Taunt is definitely an option on this. And actually thinking about it, Taunt, I think, is the way to go, because actually that shuts down Blissies as well, and Chanseys, and any other walls as well. He's got quite respectable speed, so I will be outspeeding. Running 40 in speed is probably enough, I would say. We do have odd HP on there. Defenses are looking pretty good, so I think that's pretty much there to go. So I will see you guys at the first battle. Okay, so we've got a battle against Carliste, who's got a Kecleon, a Dragonite, and to be honest, Kecleon's quite an interesting choice, so we'll have to see how that goes. A Honchkrow, which can be pretty scary. A Starmie, which I'm not really sure what to expect with that. Maybe more sort of, it's going to be very speedy, obviously, but quite a lot of people like running them with support, so we'll have to see about that. A Metagross, and then a Lucario. So in terms of Pokemon to start with, those two are looking very threatening, so I don't think Sylveon's going to be, it's going to be worth going out into Sylveon. Let's see, Crawdaunt is a possibility, but I would like to keep my Sash intact, so I think going into, I think I'm going to lead with Sylveon, just to see what he goes out into. He does lead with the Starmie now, so I can go for a Hyper Voice here, and I know he does have 2 Steel types. He does go for the T-Wave to paralyze me, and that does a pretty decent chunk. In terms of switching, he probably will end up switching, but I can't really afford to get anything else paralyzed. He does use this time to set up a Reflect, and from here, that's going to severely hamper my chances. He goes out into the Dragonite this turn. Now, I'm happy just to stay in a Hyper Voice, because I'm pretty sure this will probably KO. No, it doesn't. Oh no, Multiscale. He's got the weakness policy. Well played, well played. So, I'm going to go for the Hyper Voice again, and that Iron Head is going to take me out, unfortunately. So, from here, I do have the Terrakion with the Stone Edge. And that, by the looks of things, that looks to be my only real play, because Mandibuzz definitely is not going to be able to take that 2.5 times attack. So I'm going to have to go out to the Terrakion and hope that a Stone Edge hits. He has got the Reflect up as well, so that's going to make a difference. But hopefully I can break through from that. I have lost my Special Wall, but looking at his team, it isn't particularly specially orientated. And the Stone Edge does take him out, which is absolutely excellent. So, from here, Terrakion is looking very, very useful. So I think I'm definitely like to keep that alive. He's asking me if it's Choice Scarfed, and obviously it is, but he does go out into the Kecleon this turn. So I am kind of predicting this to be a power-up punch set, and Latios definitely isn't a good choice. So maybe Charizard Y actually. Because I'm pretty sure I can live a combination of a power-up punch and then a... can I though? Oh, it's really difficult. Let's see. So I want to keep Cordaunt alive, just because I know if I can keep the Sash around, he doesn't have any rock setters. So I'm going to go out into Charizard, predicting the power-up punch. So he does go for the power-up punch. And his Reflect does wear off this turn. So I can now go for a Fire Blast. And I hope I can take a hit from this. And I do take a hit. As long as I can hit it, I think that doesn't take him out though. Now that's a little bit of a pain. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go out to Mandibuzz, because he is now forced to Sucker Punch again. Oh, he goes to the Shadow Sneak this turn. Now that's fair enough. So I can go for the Foul Play here. And I do actually outspeed. So he is forced to go for Sucker Punch here. And even I know Foul Play does definitely take him out. Well, so from here we've still got that Honchkrow to watch out for. We do still have the Scarf on the Terrakion. He goes out into the Metagross now. This is looking to be his Mega. So I'm actually going to stay in and go for the Foul Play here. I know I am baiting in the Lucario to come in, because I think that can get... Does that have the Dark move justified? I think it might do. But he does go for the Ice Punch, and I do actually live that quite comfortably. And it means that actually I can roost up, but I'm not really gaining a huge amount. I still think it's worth it though. I'm probably going to roost up once just to get up, but that Foul Play does a huge amount. So hopefully he's just going to stay in and maybe go for the Ice Punch again. And as long as he doesn't freeze me... Okay, so that's... Yeah, I'm up to a reasonable amount of health now, where he can bring in the Honchkrow though to revenge kill, and that is going to cause a few issues. I guess I've still got the Crawdaunt though, so I am just going to go for the Foul Play just to take this out. He gets the freeze now, which is utterly terrible. So I'm going to have to go for the Foul Play again. At this point, I can go out into Cordaunt and get an Aqua Jet off. I think that's probably the play to make, because I can keep Terrakion around for that Choice Scarf to close to combat as well. So, unfortunately, even though I know I did get a bit greedy trying to get a bit more HP, but it might have made a difference. Unfortunately, it does mean my Mandibuzz does go down. So I'll go out into Cordaunt now, and I can get a Aqua Jet off. I would have quite liked to have gone out into Latios, but I am a little bit scared of this Honchkrow, and I just sort of want to save that for Lucario. He goes out into Lucario this turn. Now, I think this is probably time to sack off Charizard, just so I can keep my Sash intact, because this probably has some form of priority. And it means I can also just handle that Honchkrow, because to be honest, that Honchkrow is a little bit more scary than this Lucario is at the minute. So I'm going to go out into the Charizard, as he does go for the close combat, but that now means I can go out into Terrakion to get a close combat off from there, and neither of his Pokemon appreciate it in any way at all. So I can go for the CC. I know he probably has the Bullet Punch, or he might have the Bullet Punch, but I don't think it will be too much of a problem. I think I can definitely live that. The question is though, can I then live a Sucker Punch from it? He only has the E-Speed, so luckily I am able to take that out, and even if Terrakion doesn't manage to take this out, Honchkrow out, I've still got Crawdaunt waiting in the wings. So I can go for the CC here, and I'm definitely outspeeding. There's no way a Sucker Punch is going to be able to take me out, and unfortunately I don't take him out completely, but an Aqua Jet from there should... Oh, it is Life Orb. Oh, I guess, no, the Recoil, apologies. So, yeah, that was the first battle. That wasn't too bad, I think. So, on to the next one. Okay, so I've got another OU match here. And I'm against a guy that actually wants to do a bit of suspect testing. Ladder is down at the minute, so he challenged me to a battle. So yeah, it'd be just a bit interesting to see how this works out with that. Look at his team. He's probably got Mega Altaria there. Giratina O is going to be really scary, actually. So I do need to keep Cordon and Latios alive for that. In terms of what he's going to lead with, I have a feeling that his Lando probably is going to lead. So it is quite tempting to lead with the Latios. Let's see what else. He's got a possibly either Scarfed or Life Orb. It's not Scarfed, sorry. A Sashed or Life Orbed Mamoswine. A Keldeo, which, to be honest, out of those two, that might be his Scarfer, actually. There is a chance that his Lando is a Scarfer, though, which may cause a few issues. So, in terms of lead, I think I'm going to go for Latios. He does go out into the Mamoswine to start with. So, Ice Shard is really going to hurt. So, the question is, do I switch out? The only issue is I do have a little bit of an ice problem. So I think I'm going to stay in and I'm going to... Oh, I just missed my Draco. Okay, so he does set up Stealth Rock, so he looks more to be more of a defensive set. That's a real pain. Missing that Draco is... Yeah, he is sashed. So I think an Icicle Crash is coming my way right now. And I would have been able to have lived in the end of that with that, which is a real pain, actually. I would like to keep my Sash intact, mainly for that Giratina. So, in terms of switching, he's looking more of a defensive set. So, let's see. What can really... I guess he's got the Lando for the CC. So, that's not going to be particularly useful. But losing my Latios is going to be absolutely huge. I'd like to keep... As I said, I'd like to keep the Sash intact with that. So, I have a feeling I may not outspeed, that's the thing. Especially when he's sashed, you'd expect him to be speed invested. So the only options are Crawdaunt, which means I do have to sacrifice my Focus Sash. But then I could then set up a Dragon Dance. How does that look? So he does have the Intimidate on the Landorus. That is going to cause a few issues. But I could definitely work my way around most of his team. The only thing that does resist is obviously his Mega Altaria. So, I think Terrakion looks to be the only real option here, unfortunately. So I am going to have to go out into Terrakion, and I'm just going to have to go for the CC, and just face up to the fact that Lando probably is coming in. I could have gone for a Stone Edge, but I don't really want to risk the miss, especially the Draco missing. I'm feeling a little bit salty from that, so I figured I'm better off going for a 100% accurate move. He could just go out into Giratina though, so no, I'm changing my mind. I'm going for Stone Edge, just because it hits that well. It doesn't hit the Keldeo as well, but it just means as well that the Giratina isn't going to come in and wreck my day. He does go out into the Giratina. I missed my Stone Edge, so that's great. I am going to go out into Sylveon this turn, because normally they are special if I remember rightly. He does go for the Shadow Ball now. And I can go for a Hyper Voice, and nothing really appreciates that. I could also go for a Wish here, just to get a little bit more HP back. I think the Wish probably is a better play. He does go out into the Mamoswine this turn. So, I think I am at a reasonable amount of health, but by the time I get rocks damage on me and stuff, I think I am going to protect this turn just to see what he's going to go for. He does go for the Icicle Crash. Now, I am I am very slow, so I am not going to be able to take that. So, that's really annoyed me about that Stone Edge, because I'd have got a really decent damage off on that. I really don't have the defenses to be able to take that, so possibly I'm going to have to go out into Terrakion, I think, which is going to be a little bit of a shame. He does go for the Endeavour, which, oh, that's pretty nasty. And he probably has the Ice Shard as well. So this... Oh, no, he doesn't have the Ice Shard. Okay, so we do take that out. He could have gone into the Giratina, but I had a feeling he was probably going to stay in. So from here, Terrakion is actually pretty useless. I guess I could actually... I've still got the opportunity to defog. So he does go out into the Giratina. I am just going to go back out into the Sylveon. I think preserving this is still worth it. With the Altaria, I can still do some damage to that. He does double out into the Lando. So from here, I can just protect, just to see what he's going to do. He does go for the knockoff here. So I'm quite comfortable staying in. I think he might be choiced. By the looks of things, considering he stayed in, I think he is quite likely to be choiced from here. So, I am going to go for Hyper Voice again, just because it punishes pretty much the whole of his team. He is quite fairy weak, actually. He's got 1, 2, 3 fairy weaknesses, and then Bishop really doesn't like that. So, from here, I can go out. I can't see myself getting a defog off, to be honest, especially with this Bishop around. I do want to keep Sylveon around because I know I can handle his other Pokemon. So, I think I'm actually going to go out into I'm going to go out to Mandibuzz because I think I can handle this as long as it's not SD. Okay, so an Iron Head does a reasonable amount. He is Life Orb, so actually, with a Roost, I should be able to stall him out as well. He does still have the Keldeo, which has got does get the Justify boost, but to be honest, I think that's more likely to be special. He goes out onto the Keldeo now, and considering we know this is typically special, the moves they normally run are Sacred Sword, Hydro Pump, which really is going to sting. The question is though, I could sack off Terrakion at this point, just to see what he's going to go for, because I think this is probably Choice Specs. We know that's locked in as well, and that keeps both of my walls at pretty good HP, so I think that's probably the play to make. So I sack off my Terrakion, as he goes for the Hydro Pump here. So, I'm going to go out into the Sylveon, and I have a feeling this is probably... it's probably Specs. So, I'm going to go for the Wish here. I'm pretty comfortable that I should be able to live whatever hit he throws at me. Yep, I do manage to take that, so I can go for the Wish here. And I'm just going to go for the Protect. I know his Bishop could be coming in, and it does come in at this point, which is going to be a bit of a pain. But I am sort of starting to make my way up to a decent level of health. So I can go back out into Mandibuzz now. And I'm probably just going to go for a Roost at this point, because I'm still wearing down his Bishop as well. So I'll go for the Roost, and he does go for the knockoff to take my leftovers out, which is going to be a little bit of an issue. But I am quite keen for this Bishop to get out of the way, just because it then gets rid of any form of priority on my team. I can't go for the default because he does outspeed. Could have gone for the defog there, which would have been quite good. So, his Bishop now is at a relatively low, pretty much no health at all. This Mandibuzz still is useful because I think it might be able to handle that Giratina. That Lando, it should, I guess it does have Stone Edge. But the question is, am I better off getting rid of Rocks now? Because that does benefit the Crawdaunt and also the Charizard. Looking at his team, that probably is the best case. So I am actually going to go for the defog. I think I can take that. I do manage to take that relatively well, so I can go for the defog here. And actually, Sylveon can take that hit relatively well, so I can go out into that. As long as I don't get burnt. I get burnt anyway. That's really messed up my plans. Sorry, I'm getting really, really salty. I really shouldn't be. But he does manage to take me out with the Scald. So from here, we know he's now choice locked. So we could actually go out into Charizard and get a... probably... That Giratina does actually block us quite well. Looking at it, that is the only real play we can make. So I'm going to go out into the Charizard and Mega Evolve and... Just trying to see. So I think actually I'm going to go for the Solar Beam. Just in case he does decide to stay in. It's going to hit a little bit. It's not going to hit as strongly towards the Giratina as it would have done. But I think that's probably my best play from here. I know the Altaria can come in. Maybe I am better off running out Dragon Pulse on this. That might be worth considering. I might just change that now. I think rather than Roost, I'm actually going to go for an all singing all dancing, offensive one. So he's taking a while to make it, to choose what to go for, but yeah, that burn really messed everything up. But it was a risk I did have to take, in fairness. So I'm just trying to work out exactly how I'm going to muscle past that Giratina. His Bishop is at a pretty low level of health, and I have a feeling maybe if I can get, no, even Dragon Dance up on that. He does go out into his Lando, so this looks like it's probably scuffed, but a Solar Beam is going to take that out. So he does go out into the Giratina now, which means I really could do a Dragon Pulse on this. So this is less bulky but more offensive. It's got 100 defenses if I remember rightly, 120 offenses. So I think I'm actually going to have to sack off Mandibuzz because I don't see Mandibuzz doesn't actually. I guess Mandibuzz can wall the Bishop, but oh no, but the Altaria will have Pixelate or whatever it's got. He does go for the Shadow Ball, and that is going to be able to be a 2-hit KO, assuming min-max, yeah, doesn't screw him over. Okay, so we're going to go out into the Crawdaunt now, and we're going to go for a knockoff, because even if that Keldeo comes in, this is my only real play anyway, to be honest. I don't know if that will KO or not. It doesn't KO, but we do outspeed, which is quite interesting. I wasn't expecting that we'd outspeed. I guess he's more of a bulky set. So we'll go for the knockoff again. This is why I want to run Sash on it. I know it's not, we're not going to be able to win from here, but I think that, yeah, Dragon Dance is definitely, Dragon Pulse is definitely the way to go from there. So he is, I think he's a little bit, oh, he's forgot to put EVs in his Giratina, which is why I've outsped, which is fair enough, but it does mean I am able to KO this. But to be honest, at this point, I think I have lost now, because the Keldeo can come in. I don't have, as I said, I don't have Dragon Pulse, so the Altaria is going to cause issues. The Keldeo comes in now. Invariably, he is going to lock himself into a water move, probably. So it is tempting to actually go out into... You know what, I'm going to actually switch out into Charizard. It's getting to the point where you've got to make some funny plays. Ah, that does a lot more than I expected. No. That was the only play I could make. I assumed that the Scald wouldn't do as much, because it would be good to have a little bit of priority, and I can't muscle my way through that Altaria as well. I just don't have the sort of the moves to actually do that. So he does manage to hit his second Hydro Pump to take me out, and it's GG from here, unfortunately. So I'll just go for a Waterfall, and that does take me out, which was, yeah, it was a good game. There was a few bits of hacks, but overall, yeah, it was pretty good. So on to the next one. Okay, so we're on to our last battle for this okay, so we're on to our last battle for this episode. So looking at this guy's team, he's got a Mega Sharpedo, a Talonflame, which is going to be a little bit scary actually, a Latios of his own, a Lando with Rotom and Ferro Defensive Core. So in terms of lead, I am kind of anticipating the Lando. I think that's probably going to be a Scarfer, to be honest. I could see Lando being more like sort of Choice Band or more of a sort of bulky defensive set. So, and also that's probably, might be his Rock Setter as well. In terms of lead, I'm going to go for Latios, just to see what he goes down to. He does go out into the Lando as I hoped. I'm just going to go for an Ice Beam here. I'm pretty sure, unless he's Scarfed, I will be outspeeding, and that will just KO him straight off the bat. Blimey, okay. So that's quite a good start. It was a little bit risky, as I said. He does go out into his own Latios, indicating this is probably Scarfed. So I'm just going to go out into Sylveon. He does Draco, and obviously doesn't do any damage to me at all. So it is at the point where I'm not sure, 100% sure if this is going to be locked or not. So I think for this turn and this time only, he just DCs. Okay, we'll do one more. Okay, so we're on to the fourth battle now. Apologies about that third one. For some reason, his other sprites haven't... Oh, no, there they are. Okay, so he's got a Flygon, which is pretty cool. A Crobat, which is going to have the Defog and things like that. Luckily, I don't have rocks or anything like that, so that's not going to be too much of an issue. Excadrill with Chansey and then a Conk and Celebi. So a very relatively bulky team, actually. So I think we're just going to go for Latios again just to lead. He does go out into the Excadrill. And I think I'm just going to go for Ice Beam just to see how much that does. That really doesn't do as much as I hoped. He does go for the SD this turn, but luckily I do outspeed, so I should be able to take him out from there. I'm surprised he stayed in, to be honest, because I can get access to Surf, which would have absolutely destroyed him. So I am able to take out his Excadrill, and we'll just see from there. So, in terms of what he's going to bring in, I guess he could bring in the Chansey, but I do have the Psyshock. But in fairness, I probably would switch out. Considering he's just brought this in, this is most likely Scarfed, and he is probably going to go for a U-turn, to be honest. So I'm just going to go out into Sylveon. Sylveon works quite well. He does go for the Draco, as I managed to completely avoid that with my Fairy typing. So I'm just going to go for a Hyper Voice here. He does go for a Boom Burst. Okay. He's got... I don't think he realises what a Sylveon actually is, because that really didn't do anything at all. So he goes out into his Crobat, and I can see that there's a poison move coming my way, so I can go out into Mandibuzz. I know I don't have any steel types, but I'm pretty sure I can handle pretty much anything this Crobat's going to throw at me. As far as I'm aware, there is no opportunity for it to set up, so I should be okay. So yeah, I'll go out into my Mandibuzz just to be able to sort of wall this as easily as I can. So he does go for the Cross Poison, and that really doesn't do anything at all, blimey. So from here, I can go for... I'm just going to go for Foul Play, just in case he does decide to stay in. I think as long as I just make safe plays from here, I can break through the Chansey. He's got the Frustration. I don't know how experienced this guy is. But he's definitely not going to be able to muscle his way through. I'm surprised, though, how little that actually did. So he seems to be a mix set as well. So I'm just going to roost up here. Yeah. I'm going to roost up because I'm going to have to take another hit from this anyway. And it'd be good to just keep it a decent amount of HP, especially for that Conk Elder. He does go for the Air Slash again. He manages to flinch me. So hopefully he doesn't flinch me to death, because that's going to be a bit annoying otherwise. So he's going to be really, really speedy. So everything on my team is pretty much going to be outsped. He does flinch me again. So this is getting a little bit risky and a little bit close to the mark. But he's going to have to hit quite a few more to actually be able to take me out completely. So from there... yeah, I'm not exactly sure, because as long as I keep Crawdaunt around for the Celebi, because it's going to outspeed me, and if it gets a Giga Drain off, I'm going to hit it afterwards with the knockoff, so that's going to do a disgustingly large amount. As long as I can get this Crobat down to a level of health where, yeah, that's good. I do manage to heal up, where a Aqua Jet does manage to take him out. I should be pretty good. I'm going to go for the Foul Play again this turn, just to sort of start to weaken him. He is using Black Sludge for recovery, so it would be good just to get as much off. And next turn, while it is tempting to be able to take him out, I am going to Roost, just to make sure that when I do KO him, I am at a decent amount of HP. He does flinch me again. I apologise for the length of this battle, for this little bit at least, because I just want to play it safe and make sure that I don't run into too much trouble. But yeah, overall in terms of this team, it's not too bad, considering I literally made it, as you saw at the start of the video, in like 10-15 minutes. I don't think it's that bad. I had a little bit of a fake of it to start with. He does manage to get the poison on the Cross Poison, which is going to be a bit of a pain. I think I'm just going to get a Foul Play off, because I'm not actually going to be in a much higher amount of health if I do go for another go at sort of roosting and stuff like that. So I do take him out with the Foul Play. If the Chansey comes in, I could definitely taunt that, so that's not going to be too much of an issue. I can't see the Celebi coming in, so it is probably going to be the Conkeldurr. But I do have Psyshock on that, and also Terrakion can muscle his way through as well. I do have the X-Scissor as well, so I can handle the Celebi. He does go out into the Conk this turn. I think Mandibuzz has outlived its usefulness, so I am just going to go for the Foul Play here. I know it's not going to do a huge amount of damage, but sort of any chips of damage that I can get to it. He has the Hammer Arm, which is quite interesting, and he's a Life Orb set, so that's quite interesting. I guess I guess he may have access to Drain Punch as well. So I do manage to get him down to pretty much half health. Yeah, he has the Drain Punch as well, which is fair enough. I think Hammer Arm works quite well in Trick Room as well. So, but from here I can go out into Latios and I can just get a Psyshock off. If he does decide to go out to the Celebi, I can go for an Ice Beam, and that may be his special rule, though. That's the only thing. Let's see how much this does to Chansey. Whoa. Is that Eviolite Chansey? Because that definitely wouldn't do. Maybe he's more of it. Maybe he's just completely specially defensive. Because I did not expect that to do as much as that just did. Blimey. Anyway, the Chansey's now out the way, and I think Terrakion from here can sweep. I might need to just weaken the Conkeldurr just a smidgen, just to get it down to a level where X-Scissor can take it out. But X-Scissor is definitely taking out the Celebi. He goes into the Celebi now. I can just go for the Ice Beam, actually. And I don't know what moves this has got for me. It'd be good just to get as much damage off on this as possible, really. So 78%, that's pretty respectable. As he does go. He has the Sticky Barb as well. This is confusing me completely. As I said, the ladder has been down, so I did have to randomly find people. But I know this has been a bit of a joke team, but that's just weird. Metronome Celebi. Whatever rocks his boat, to be honest. So I am going to be able to just take this Conkeldurr out with a Psyshock. But yeah, as I said, I don't know how experienced this guy was, but as I said, that wasn't something I could control because with the server being down and everything. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the team and enjoyed the video, and I will hopefully see you at the next battle. Macadii out. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep up my latest content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. Macadii out.